Hey, welcome everyone. This is Mike from zozostockwatch.com, and this is going to be your stock watch list market talk for the 27th of February. Let's go ahead and get into some of the alerts that we called in the room today. The first call that I made in the room, RRC over 1175. So I talk about the winners and the losers here. Let me show you how I dealt with one of the losers. First trade out of the gate this morning. The entry was over $11.55. The stock had earnings this morning. Oil was moving up. The stock was getting some momentum. So I don't like to play the first candle, but it was building momentum coming up to this 1150 area. I thought if we broke above 1155, we would get a nice push up. It got up to about 1160 and started to reverse on me. Now, I didn't make enough to take any off the table, 5 cents, not enough to take any profits there. So what we teach in the service is to, when you're in a stock, right, you stay defensive as you enter the stock. If you don't get that further push up, that reaction you want, if the stock starts to come immediately back at you, you cut your losses. All right. So on RRC, you could see it in the room here. We alerted at 9:33. The stop was 11:45, so I lost a dime on this trade on RRC. So why am I talking about this loss? Because in order to be a good day trader, you need to absorb losses. You need to keep your losses small. All right. Next trade we did was on Apple, and that moved up over $175, almost a dollar on Apple on the next trade. We alerted ZSAN, but it never triggered ZSAN. Another trade, APHA, that one triggered, didn't move up much on APHA. We alerted ANFI, never triggered on that one. ACB never triggered for us. And then NEO came along. All right, so NEO was a trade that we alerted in the room. You're looking at a 2-minute chart, and this is why I opened up with that RRC to show you that we take small losses in the beginning, all right, on our trades. We don't let any trade go against us. Now, years ago on RRC, I probably would have had a big ego. I would have said, oh, let me add over here. It's going to come back. But as you can see, RRC kept moving down, so it was a good out. The next trade that we did, NEO, all right, we got in on NEO at on over 927, so about $9.30. And as you can see, I took about 2,000 shares of NIO, and it moved all the way up over $10.50 on the day. Now, I didn't have all 2,000 shares for the whole move. As we teach, I got out some of those shares as the stock moved up in my favor, and had small shares left as the stock moved above $10.50 today. Another trade that we did in the service today was PYX. By the way, NEO was called at 9:48 Eastern Time and alerted over the microphone and typed in the room. PYX was alerted over the microphone. PYX over 2665, and that also made a nice move from 2665, 2670 in that area. Moved up almost, got a dollar almost on this trade on PYX. Another trade that we did today in the service was Tilray. TLRY. Now this is another, a low share trader, Tilray. We got in this name over 79.25, and the stock popped up to $80.50. That came later in the afternoon on Tilray. And let's see if I can find it for you on Tilray. All right, so Tilray, we alerted this one at 12:48 p.m. 12:46 actually, sorry, on Tilray, 79.25 break, low share trader because it can have spreads in it, but you get nice moves if you catch it right. So TLRY moved up over up about a dollar from the alert on TLRY. So that's some of the trades that we did in the service today. So a very narrow range on the SPY, but once again, we're holding above the yellow dotted line here, the 5 EMA. So far, the bears have not been successful in breaking down below this 5 EMA. They keep trying to push on it, but no break in it today. I'll show you some other sectors, the QQQ also holding above the 5 EMA, holding above the 200 SMA. The IWM did move down below the 200 SMA, is kind of right at the 5 EMA also, but maybe rounding over a little bit. Uh, After the close today on IWM, IWC, same thing, right? But still below the 200 SMA, but right at that 5 EMA. So technically, not a lot of damage, just a little pause here going on in the markets. Now, any kind of news event or tweet can come out today and move the markets throughout the day or the evening. But right now, markets are holding steady above the fast moving averages. Jerome Powell spoke today at 10 a.m. Eastern time today. Basically, patience was the word again, and patience mode for Jerome Powell. So if we go ahead and look at the 5-minute chart of the SPY, around 10 o'clock, they were releasing some of the notes from Jerome Powell's statement. So as you can see, it started to pop the SPY up. Now we had gap down. We were down here at around 279, 278 and change in the pre-market. Then Powell started speaking around 10 o'clock, and there's your first candle. Then they started asking him questions. The market moved back down. Then he started giving the answers, and the market started to move back up. And as you can see, we're in this tight range throughout the day. Then the market basically was chopping around, but there were still a lot of stocks that were making some really nice moves. That I showed you, NEO and PYX was making some nice moves. But then, we started to move up, right? And then into the close, once again, we get this sell-off a little bit into the close. Now, if we look at the markets for today, not a big down day here at all. You had the transports down about 39 points. You had the Dow down about 34 points. The NASDAQ was down 5, and the S&P was down about 2 points for the day. The VIX closed with a 15 handle on it. Once again, the VIX kind of led the way here, up about 2% on the day. So it looks like people are starting to buy a little protection here. The second day in a row that the VIX has been up. So keeping an eye on that. That might be a little tell in the markets. JNUG was up over 2%. The junior gold miners. The marijuana ETF, the MJ, was up almost 2% on the day. Oil had a little bit of a comeback today, about 0.5% for the day. To the downside, today we had nat gas down over 1% on the day. The regional banking sector down 1% on the day. The OIH, the oil services sector, down 1% on the day. KWEB, the Chinese internet ETF, was down a little under 1%. TAN moved down a little under 1% for the day. The IWC was down just under 1% for the day, and the FXI, the China 25 index ETF, down over 0.75%. IWM was down over 0.5% on the day. SMH down fractionally for the day. We'll just talk about the banks a little bit. So XLF still remains below the 200 SMA on the banks, but holding above the 10 SMA here. And like I said, the regional banks still below the 200 SMA, breaking below the 5 EMA and coming down to the 10 SMA here on the regional banks. So I just wanted to point out a couple of sectors here. The retail sector holding above the fast moving averages, but still below the 200 SMA there. And let's see, we'll look at the XME, still basing under the 200 SMA here on the metals and mining ETF, holding above the fast moving averages. Home Depot had earnings today. They missed on earnings. They did announce a share buyback up to $15 billion, I believe it was the number for the Home Depot. But their earnings disappointed. Also, housing numbers came out today, and housing numbers were a drop. I think it was an 11% drop in the housing numbers. Check me on that. But anyway, Home Depot down just under 1% for the day after they came out with earnings. Caterpillar was down today. Caterpillar down almost 2.5% on the day. UBS came out with a sell and price target reduction on Caterpillar. So it gapped down a little bit. Looks like buyers showed up at that 135 spot. So that was a couple of stocks that moved. In the the S&P top stocks here, Etsy was a big winner on earnings today. Etsy was a big winner on earnings today. CRON up over almost 7% on the day. APHA up almost 7% for the day. ACB up over 6% for the day. And CGC up almost 5.5% on the day. PYX, the one that we played, was up 4% for the day. So the cannabis stocks got a little buying today. Over in the NASDAQ 100, some of your top stocks, Electronic Arts had a bounce, and LU had a bounce. JD.com was up 1.5% on the day. So a lot of earnings came out after the bell. We'll go through some of the earnings, not all of them. There were a ton of earnings after the bell tonight. This courtesy of the Trade Exchange. WTW got annihilated after the bell. Weight Watchers, disappointing earnings there. Before the earnings came out, it was halted. Then it gapped down. You could see here down about, 30% or so on WTW. Some other stocks that had earnings after the bell. ELF came out with earnings, stock moving down. Beat on earnings, missed on revenues there. AAXN, earnings per share miss, a beat on revenues. Vive had earnings per share beat, and the revenue beat also for Vive. I think that one was up. Yeah, Vive had popped up, holding some of the gains here in after hours. Might be one to watch tomorrow for a continuation move. ARNA, earnings per share of $1.35 for that one. ENPH misses by 2 cents but beat on revenue. There's your information on Weight Watchers. You can read that there. VVUS beat by 11 cents, beat on revenue. AXGN beat by a penny, missed on revenue. RTRX beat by 10 cents, misses by on revenues there. And let's see, we'll scroll through. Jazz Pharmaceutical beat by 62 cents on Jazz. I think that one was flying. Yeah, that one was pushing up hard in the after hours. Palo Alto Networks, also they're doing a share $1 billion buyback also. Palo Alto Networks. So this one pushing up real strong in the after hours. May affect some of the other cybersecurity stocks tomorrow, such names as FEYE, FireEye, FTNT might get a move, and then Cyber has been pretty strong lately, so that one might move in sympathy to Palo Alto Networks. Let's see if we had any others that were standout in the after hours from Trade Exchange here. TiVo had earnings after the bell. TIVO stock moving down. PZZA, that stock popped up and kind of holding the gains in after hours. They missed by 2 cents, missed on revenue. VYGR Therapeutics beats by 2 cents, misses on revenue. Mylan came out with earnings after the bell. They missed by 5 cents but beat on revenue for Mylan. They're involved with the EpiPen, so Mylan selling off in the after hours. Let's see if that's affecting Teva. Yeah, Teva kind of was doing a grind down in the after hours also. Mattel had an insider purchase come into that one. Was ticking up a little bit, 30,000 shares for that Mattel insider purchase. And KPTI, biotech getting hit in the after hours. KPTI down a lot. SGYP getting crushed in the after hours tonight on that one. TBLT, a 13G came out after hours, 9.9% stake in that one. So TBLT was up a little bit in the after hours tonight. OPRX had earnings come out. OPRX, this stock was climbing in the after hours, maybe one to watch for tomorrow. So some earnings coming out tomorrow before the bell. You have Ameren, Lowe's, Best Buy, TJX coming out with earnings. After the bell, you get Square, SQ symbol there, Fitbit, FIT, Teldoc, Bookings, BILI, Bilibili. Box will be reporting after hours. That's some of the bigger names. For tomorrow. As far as economic information, well, we get Jerome Powell again at 10 o'clock for a couple of hours tomorrow. So Jerome Powell will be speaking again. At 10 o'clock, we get factory orders. Pending home sales will be coming out. Durable goods coming out at 8:30 tomorrow. MBA mortgage applications will be coming out. The EIA oil numbers coming out tomorrow at 10:30. And then you see there's some more Fed speak to go, but the big Fed speak again tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern time. So that's some of the earnings. This is the earnings courtesy of Earnings Whisper, and then the calendar, economic calendar, courtesy of the Trade Exchange. Some stocks I'll be watching for tomorrow. ACB, full disclosure, we have a swing trade going on in ACB. Ameren, want to watch the reaction to those earnings that are coming out tomorrow. We actually traded Ameren. We got a small trade out of it on the break of 20. Went up about 25 cents from our entry on Ameren. Some other stocks that we'll be watching. APHA. The daily looks pretty good here on APHA. Volume 7.5 million shares, so that'll be on watch. Blink had a nice day today. Some folks in the room caught this break of $3.50, pushed up to about $3.75. So BLNK will be on watch. Another cannabis name, CGC, will be on watch. Cliffs, this one looks pretty good on the daily chart. You might want to keep an eye on CLF for possible swing trade in that name. CRON, a nice reversal move here. So we'll be watching it again tomorrow. Didn't catch this one personally today, but some of my traders in the room caught this. They grabbed it up coming through VWAP and up through that $20 number and got a beautiful trade out of that name. EKSO. The daily chart shaping up here. Nice move from $1.25 all the way up to almost $2.50 on this name. Volume a little bit light still on this name, but keep your eye on it. Maybe volume will come in. You got to keep your eye on some of these electric car companies. This FUV, right? A lot of fits and starts in this name. Very spready intraday. Not my favorite one to trade. I like the Neo better. Solo is the other one, so keep your eye on Solo. A lot of fits and starts. This is the Canadian one. So this one was making a nice move today. If you caught it right, I didn't catch this one, but that'll be on watch tomorrow. SOLO. Saw a lot of stocks under $1 moving up today. GNCA was moving up today, so that'll be on watch to see if there's any kind of continuation move. IGC is back on the Amex, I guess now. Another cannabis name popped the other day, pulled back. It was on the OTC, and now it's back on the Amex. So IGC will be on watch. IMMU had a nice day. 6 million shares in this name, so nice move there. IQ popped up, pulling back a little bit. We'll have that one on watch tomorrow. JAGX had some news in the after hours tonight. JAGX was popping up. Now it's an under 50-cent name. Really not something I trade, but for you folks that watch the YouTube videos, keep your eye on this JAGX for possible move. KDMN. turning the corner here. Volume 2.7 million shares. We'll have that one on watch. KNDI, of course, will be on watch. Electric vehicles. Mankind had a big pop today. Expanding volume, 9.8 million shares. That'll be on watch. Maybe a continuation move in that one. Another stock under $1, MTP. Huge pop, expanding volume. Almost 46 million shares came into MTP. So we'll see if there's any action in that one tomorrow. OPRX, like I said, they had earnings after the bell tonight. They popped this one up a little bit. So we'll see if it has anything for a move for tomorrow intraday. Plag, PLAG, a China name. If the China names get going again, kind of an inside day today. Volume on the pullback, 200,000 shares on this pullback. So we'll see if there's any life in that one. This REIT is a cannabis play. So REED, a big volume pop, 3.7 million shares. So you might want to keep this one on watch for tomorrow. SESN, nice turn back above the 50 SMA on the daily chart, 5.6 million shares. Looks interesting here. Turning the corner, could just be getting started. Shack had earnings today. Just couldn't find a way in this one. Very volatile, but also very spready. At some points had 25-cent spreads in this name, sometimes a little bit bigger on Shake Shack. So I'll have it on watch, see if they calm it down as far as the spreads. SQ, they have earnings coming up soon on Thursday. So I'll have this one on watch. Looks like it's trying to get up over this 78 area here on Square. We'll see how it sets up. Maybe this TBLT might want to do something tomorrow. Tilray is always on watch. Got it, like I said, a nice trade in this one today. So I'll watch it again tomorrow. TNDM, this is very strong in the after hours. They came out with earnings after the bell tonight. Very strong. Shorts look like they're running for the hills here. So maybe there's a trade in that one. Very, VERI. Volume keeps coming into this name, turning up over the 100 SMA here, has that 650 number up ahead. So very looks interesting. And then ZSAN, another quiet day, but still holding above the 5 EMA here, has that 550 number up ahead. When it gets over $5, you could see a pop in it. So keep the ZSAN on watch. We traded this one yesterday, didn't catch a trade in it today, but it did get above VWAP here and make a nice move, but I didn't catch this. So this is Mike from zozostockwatch.com. This is your stock watch list, a little bit of market talk. If you like this video and it's helping you out, please hit the thumbs up button down below. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button, and then you'll be alerted every time we do a video. Also, if you'd like to come check out my service, for $30, you could try my service for 1 month. That's $1 per day, and that allows you full access to the Novia trading room, screen share, and everything. All right, so this is Mike from zozostockwatch.com. Have a good day trading tomorrow, and we'll be back at it with another video tomorrow night.